morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Wednesday on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. So meteorologist Thomas Patrick and I were just talking about snow chances. And Thomas, I'm sure you are just as surprised as everybody else will be to hear this. I'm ready for snow.
Yeah.
I want snow.
Yeah, I know. It's been kind of a bland winter so far. Yeah, we've gotten a couple doses here or there, but the snow never stuck around in December. Today and this week, we'll see how much of that snow is going to fall, and it looks like it is falling for some areas. I do think that this batch doesn't stick today. Still a little bit too warm for that, but this is the most snow that we've seen in quite some time, even if it isn't all that much. Look at our northern areas, North Spokane through Colbert and Deer Park, 9 Mile Falls, all picking up a little bit of that kind of wet snowfall at the moment. So as it's hitting the ground, it should be melting with our temperatures at about 33 to 35 degrees. Looks like Cheney Medical Lake, you see a little green, a little blue trying to mix in. I think this is a perfect example of what we would call a rain-snow mix. And yes, our temperatures are above freezing. Yes, it can snow, but usually that snowfall just melts as it hits the ground. So no worries for any icy conditions on the roadways this morning, but do note that our snow chances will pick up even more later in the week.
Well, Spokane police have arrested a person after a shooting in northwest Spokane on Tuesday. Police were called to the Indian Trail area near West Francis around 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Police say at least one person was injured, but that's really all we know right now. This morning, we are working to try and find out more details about what led up to this shooting. Now, with this latest shooting this morning, we're digging deeper into the new Washington state law that requires anyone who buys a gun to wait 10 days and pass a safety training program. So we looked into how these new restrictions apply to a Washington resident buying a gun in Idaho and to an Idaho resident buying a gun in Washington. Washington's law allows out-of-state residents to buy rifles and shotguns sold in Washington, but they are subject to Washington firearm purchasing laws. That includes that 10-day waiting period, passing a background check, and a safety training program. Now, if a Washington resident wants to buy a firearm in Idaho, they would also still be subject to Washington's 10-day waiting period. That's because Idaho law says out-of-state residents are subject to both Idaho purchasing laws and laws from the state in which they currently reside. 270 Idahoans died from opioid overdoses just last year. Now a new program in North Idaho is working to get life-saving medication to the people that need it. This morning, our Nicole Hernandez is joining us live in Kootenai County. So Nicole, can you tell us more about this new program and who it's really going to help?
So Jenny, this is a new partnership between the state of Idaho and Kootenai County Fire Department right behind me here. It used to be that the state would give out this life-saving drug, but now the state is giving the drug to the fire department, and then the fire department first responders can then distribute the drug to different community organizations across the county. So this drug is called Naloxone. It's what Narcan is made of and helps reverse a fentanyl overdose. Our sister station in Boise talked to Idaho Health and Welfare, and they say the program will likely save lives.
Hundreds of lives. Our data suggests that really we've saved hundreds of lives, thousands of lives if you look across the country. So a huge impact to this. Again, it's not a treatment, right? It's not a perfect solution, but we want to save people's lives so then they can get back to a place where they can get into treatment, get back with their families, get back to being a contributing member and successful in their lives.
So this new program is because of a new 2023 Idaho law. The state used to be able to give out Naloxone on their own, but now only law enforcement or medical agencies can distribute the drug. The state says the agencies can help connect the organizations that they give Naloxone to with training on how to use it and what to do after they use it. Kootenai County here is actually the first county in the state to have a new partnership like this, and the state is hoping to continue expanding this program as the year continues. In North Idaho, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Well, Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris just announced that he is running for a second term. That's according to our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press. Norris was first elected sheriff in 2020. Before that, he served on the Kootenai County Search and Rescue Team. And before that, Norris was a lieutenant with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department for nearly 30 years, where he led a counterterror unit. Norris says that in his second term, he would like to build an all-volunteer force of vetted citizens to help keep the community safe. Taking a look at Northwest News this morning, several patients have died at a Medford hospital in Oregon as a result of infections allegedly caused by a nurse who switched out prescription fentanyl with tap water. Officials say that the nurse used water to cover up their misuse of the hospital's supply of pain medication. As many as 9 people developed infections and died. At this time, no one has been charged with a crime.
You can find other hospitals where this has happened and where Pseudomonas infection has happened as a result. So it's not just here. When I spoke to the people in Cleveland who had this happen there, they had the FBI and the DEA both involved. And I suspect that's what will happen here as well.
When asked about the allegations, the medical center provided a brief statement saying, quote, "We were distressed to learn of this issue. We reported it to law enforcement and are working closely with them." Well, take a look at this rescue. Firefighters in the Coast Guard actually rescued a dog near Cannon Beach in Oregon. They say the dog fell off a cliff at Ecola State Park earlier this week. A rescue swimmer found the pup and moved it into the basket. The dog was reunited with its owner and was taken to the vet. The dog is named Leo, and Leo has a few cuts and bruises, but otherwise is doing okay, thankfully. Firefighters are now reminding people who are visiting the coast with their pets to make sure that you keep them on a leash.
6:07, another check of our weather forecast where we'll see scattered rain showers and scattered snow showers throughout the day. Already seen quite a plenty of it already this morning. Any snow that's falling is going to have a hard time sticking. Still just a little bit too warm for that, but at least it's getting cold enough to snow, unlike what we've seen recently for the inland Northwest. But there's your scattered rain and snow showers just drifting gently from south to north across the region. Haven't seen a lot in North Idaho, at least not just yet this morning. So a bit drier for Coeur d'Alene. The airport in Spokane is reporting a bit of snowfall. We'll call it a wet snow since that current temperature is at 33 degrees. And we'll stay between about 33 to 38 all day long. It's not going to be a widespread rain snow event. I think scattered rain and snow showers will be present through the day.
Well, we all know that keeping your home warm in the winter is expensive, so you might be looking into some DIY tricks to keep your costs down. Brandon Lewis from our National Verify team looks into ways to stay warm without breaking the bank.
Frigid winter temperatures are here, and with record high energy prices, you might think twice before cranking up the heat. So we looked into some common questions about whether things people do to stay warm are really a hot idea. First up, does turning your thermostat way up heat your home faster? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy, the Environmental Protection Agency, Black Hills Energy, and HVAC maker Glen Dimplex. Furnaces have just 2 settings, on and off. They rely on a thermostat to know how long to stay on. Cranking the temperature up from 60 to 70 will only make your furnace run longer, but it won't heat your home any faster because it only has 1 setting, on, whether it's trying to increase the temperature 1 degree or 10 degrees. So no, turning the thermostat way up won't heat your home any faster. Next up, can window treatments help save you money? The Energy Department estimates in an average home, 1/3 of heat is lost through the windows. You can prevent some of that from happening by keeping the drapes or shades closed at night because they act as an extra layer of insulation between your home and the windows. This helps keep up to 10% more heat inside your home, which can lower your energy bill. So, yes, window treatments can help save you money. Finally, ceiling fans are a great way to stay cool, but can they also help keep your home warm? In the summer, you should set your fans to rotate counterclockwise to blow air down. This helps sweat evaporate and makes you feel cooler. In the winter, the Energy Department recommends reversing your fan so it spins clockwise and then using the lowest setting. This pulls up the cool air and displaces warm air that's near the ceiling. So, yes, ceiling fans can help keep your home warm.